What is going on? Welcome to Heaven on Earth, the astrological forecast here on YouTube. This is where I bring you the sacred mission of this week so that you can bring light, love, and spirit here on Earth. Because boy, oh boy, do we need that. And after the weeks of optimism and weeks of expanding, exploring, this week, the 2nd of December until the 8th of December, this is where we will have Jupiter going into Capricorn. So, done with the exploring, done with the what is truth, into the practical steps, into time to integrate, incorporate business authority. I say this is time to get real. And as many astrologers will probably scare you and say that this is going to be tough, well, they're not lying. Okay? But what I want to say, and I want to bring a new perspective, I think that if you've been doing the work, and you've been paying attention, you've been doing your spiritual duty, I think we've been preparing, and Source has been giving us gifts. And if you've been paying attention and you've been listening to the messages, right now is the time to put it all on the table, to put it to the test. This is no more training, no more fun, fun, and it's just practice. This is the real deal. This is where you take full ownership over who you are, and this is no more drama, no more bullshitting. This is the real deal. Because from here on, with this Jupiter in Capricorn, it's only going to become tougher. And I will tell you right away that the world out there is going to change like we've never seen before. It will put you to the test, and you're going to have to stay grounded and at the same time be prepared and be ready to help everyone else to stay optimistic, positive, and keep showing where the light is. And that is not an easy task. But let's look at what we have still this week. Still, there's a little tiny grain of little hope with that Sun in Sagittarius, which brings us a very philosophical, exploring, traveling, nature, all these things. That's the environment. But we have Venus in Capricorn. That in and of itself is already like, okay, let's just see. We can put this down to practice, and I think it helps, but it ain't easy. But it is easy to put things to practice. Mars in Scorpio is traveling along with Venus this week, and it's in a sextile. So whatever you are really, I think this is not just, the time of wishes and goals and dreams, you've been having that, and you can still have that a little bit. You can still look a little bit to the future, especially with a moon in Aquarius, still on Monday and Tuesday. And yes, it is progressive, and yes, it's about the future, but these will be the only 2 days. And then on Wednesday, this is going to be, okay, still some Pisces. And we can be like delusional, or we can get down to work and reap the benefits of Mars sextile Venus, which is all about intensity. And whatever you do it good. You do it with bravery. You do it with power. This Mars in Scorpio is a blessing. Sextiling Venus in Capricorn. Whatever you are feeling, you can put it to the practice. You can put it in the practical level. But it ain't bullshitting. It ain't partying. It ain't fun. I mean, it's always, let's keep it real. It's always about having fun. And it's like, come on, do not take things too serious. And trust me, with Jupiter in Capricorn, we will take things way too serious. We will want to get down to business, and we will feel a pull towards being hard on ourselves, towards more practicality, towards business, towards the old conditioning, especially with Venus conjunct that South Node now. This is old stuff popping up. This is relationships. This is the wife beater. This is the Me Too movement, but in a like very hard way. This is gonna bring some stuff up. But I'm saying spiritual integrity, spiritual duty, honesty. Just no more, like, I can't say it enough, no more bullshitting. This is the year of quality, is starting with Jupiter in Capricorn. And quality means purity. Quality means honesty. Quality means full integrity, integration. It means presence. It means fully there. Allowing, streaming, flowing, purity. I've said that. These are the words that you should be bringing inside of yourself with feminine, loving energy. And this is the point where I want to get to. With Jupiter in Capricorn, and all that Capricornian energy, which is going to build up anyway, and it's only going to become more tougher. I think we have a big, big, big responsibility, which is a Capricornian word. We have an opportunity and responsibility to redefine what it means to be an authority. And if you just look to, let's just say, The Irishman, okay? A series on Netflix on the mob and the mafia, and on how governments have, been, just putting us to the test. Let's keep it that. Let's keep it light, okay? To say it at the least, But the old ways of doing business and top-down communication and authority and fraud and everything that has been happening since the 60s, and even 6,000 years of masculine and feminine repression and masculine domination, all of that is very tough. But we have an opportunity. We men, we women, we people of this earth, with our responsibility, stepping into our integrity, fully being human, have a responsibility to redefine what it means to be an authority. And this authority comes from a very feminine warrior archetype. This is an earth warrior. This is a warrior that fights. And it fights for justice. And with Mars in Scorpio, this is easy to go there, to be there with courageousness. But North Node in Cancer. And I think, for me, Capricorn, it's the mountain goat. It's the one who stands on top of the mountain, but without claiming the power. But because you can be a king that is there for the people, because the people are there for you, and you are not greater or better than the people. You just step into your conscious leadership, your power, your unique talent. And maybe that is to lead people, but not necessarily so. But it is to fight for the justice and the rights of this human race, of this planet Earth, with a heart of love, unconditionally and showing that in every action that you do without claiming that your ego, that you are responsible for that. You know, and especially with a moon conjunct Neptune on Wednesday, squaring first quarter square with Sun in Sag, this is where you could become delusional, that you think that you're God and that you are like the one who leads the pack and who has all the truth. But this is a redefining of all that masculine power. This is you understanding that whoever shares the path with you is you. And they are you and you are them. There's no difference. There's no boundaries between you and the other person. The only boundaries that are there is your physical flesh that is here to express things in a various different way, and you are all here to learn from each other and to step into our integrity, into our role, to take up our talents and our roles, but to help and support each other, to lead, but for the benefit of this planet, for the evolution of the human race. Uranus and Taurus, baby. Come on. Moon conjunct Uranus and Taurus, and then Venus trining Neptune on that same day, and Mercury about to come into Sagittarius. You know, this is just reshifting. It's like just energy shifting big time. And we are on this course, especially with Jupiter in Capricorn. That's going to be the most important shift of this week. And it's going to be there for a year. And for me, that sets the tone. For me, that's the key thing to be aware of, is to be aware of not falling into the trap of old conditioning, but to a new way of leadership, a new power. Becoming aware where you are hard on yourself, where you're not taking care of yourself, where you are hard on your others, and to realize that if you crucify another, you're actually crucifying yourself. You can but crucify yourself. That's a big message. Everyone is you. You are everyone. And that would be the biggest message for this week. But to especially be aware that you're going to get resistance. But this is where we are being required to fully step into our integrity, to take care of everyone else at the same time when we know what is right. And there's going to be a lot of people trying to pull us back to old ways of doing things. But that's done. You and I know that's done. Okay? Especially when that moon on Friday and Saturday hits Aries, and we're all going to want to start and do that. And it squares Venus, Pluto, Saturn in Capricorn, conjunct the South Node, all of that stuff. This is a big wall saying, you are not going any further, my man. So any action you're trying to take, any new endeavors, any new, like this is Protestant, like this is going to be rebellion, this is going to be strikes, this is going to be, two sides against one another. But we now know that we come from love. And love only reigns. Only love reigns. That should be our mantra. Only love reigns. We are kings. And we are here to rule again. But not with force, but with love. And so that takes me to the cards of this week. And this is funny. I've been drawing this card a lot lately. To die for light. See, this is where we're going to be put to the test. To die for that light, to see that light. And other people that tell you that light does not exist and that it casts a shadow, they're lying. They're pulling you back. The only thing that there is light within us. Now the thing is, if everyone's light, then everyone's dark. Okay? But I don't want to get too hard on you. I don't want to get too confusing. Light, you are a light. And that light is within you. And you shine it. And it overshines the darkness. Trust me. So, but to die for light, it's going to be challenging. Oh yes, it will. It will be challenging. Authorities, people in power, governments, any type of power, parenting, I mean, just old conditioned people who are still in consensus state. They will test you. But this is where we stand into our integrity, into our power. Only reign with love. Now, this is how we can do this. I drew the card of vegetarian and veganism. Now, I do not necessarily think, and I'm pretty convinced, you don't need to become a vegetarian or a vegan like instantly. I think what this card shows is that we have to take very careful, to become very careful in our choices of our food. Okay, so to feed ourselves with nutritious foods, especially this week, because that's going to determine our softness. The way we eat is the way we make choices in daily life, and the way we make choices is what we choose to think. What we choose to think is what we say and do. And if we eat meat a lot, we could have a discussion about vegetarian and veganism. And I'm not a vegetarian yet, but I'm definitely transitioning in a year phase towards that. But when we eat a lot of meat, the blood that is shed, our body recognizes that blood. And so our body interprets that as you have to fight with your environment, which causes anger, which causes the fight-flight system to be triggered. And so this is where we act more from a fight-flight response. So to lower down the meat intake, do not instantly cut, or I would not recommend you become vegetarian. This is not what this is about. This is about conscious choices in your diet will lead to conscious choices outside in the outer world, right? In your communication to others, your softness, your kindness, your love. And especially now, we're entering into territory of patriotism, of national socialism. Trust me, we're going to see that big time. It's going to be tough. It's a tough environment, and only love there can reign. And then we have to take care of ourselves. We have to be loving, kinding, and standing into our own integrity. And your nutritious choices will determine your mental clarity. Stand into your integrity. Spiritual awareness. Power. You got this. Much love. The Leo Mystic. See you next week. Be well.